Have you ever wondered whether masturbating could be quietly harming your health as you age? As we grow older, maintaining our well-being becomes even more critical, and some things that seemed harmless in our younger years can have unexpected consequences later in life. If you're over 65, you may not have realized that one particular habit, something often dismissed as natural and harmless, could be putting your health at serious risk. In this video, we're diving into the surprising dangers of a topic rarely discussed openly: how frequent masturbation after the age of 65 may have unintended effects on your body and overall well-being. While this is a natural part of life, recent discussions among health professionals reveal that, in certain cases, it can contribute to physical and mental health concerns that many seniors experience without knowing the cause. Stay with me until the very end, because what you learn today might just change the way you think about your health. We'll explore the real impact of this habit on your heart, nervous system, and cognitive function, especially how it can subtly affect energy levels, mood stability, and even long-term cardiovascular health. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of what's really happening inside your body, empowering you to make informed decisions about your well-being. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you enjoy this video, please type 1 in the comments. If you don't like it, type 0 in the comments to let me know, so I can make better videos for you. Now let's get started. Number 1, unexpected strain on the cardiovascular system. One of the most overlooked risks of frequent masturbation after the age of 65 is the impact it can have on the heart and overall cardiovascular health. While this activity may seem completely unrelated to heart function, the truth is that any activity that elevates heart rate and blood pressure, especially in short, intense bursts, can place unexpected strain on an aging cardiovascular system. For younger individuals with strong, elastic arteries, this might not be a concern. But for older adults whose blood vessels naturally become less flexible over time, this sudden rise in heart rate can sometimes lead to irregularities, dizziness, or even an increased risk of cardiac episodes. Think about the last time you engaged in light exercise, like walking up a flight of stairs or carrying groceries. You probably noticed your heart working harder, your breathing changing, and perhaps even a slight feeling of fatigue. Now imagine that same kind of physical response happening in a moment of intense but brief activity, except in this case, you're not prepared for it. Your body doesn't have the gradual warm-up or pacing that comes with intentional exercise, which means a spike in heart rate can be more abrupt than you realize. This sudden cardiovascular stress is why some older adults have reported feeling lightheaded, fatigued, or even experiencing irregular heart rhythms afterward. Take the case of someone like William, a 72-year-old retired engineer. William had always considered himself relatively healthy, managing his diet well and staying active. However, he started noticing that after certain private activities, he felt an odd tightness in his chest and a sensation of being more out of breath than usual. At first, he brushed it off, but after one particularly uncomfortable episode, he decided to mention it to his doctor during a routine checkup. To his surprise, his physician explained that these symptoms weren't uncommon in men his age, especially those who had a history of high blood pressure or minor heart issues. While William didn't need to stop completely, his doctor advised him to pay closer attention to his body's signals and to avoid overexerting himself in a way that his heart wasn't conditioned to handle. It's important to understand that this isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Many seniors aren't even aware of how their body's response to this activity changes with age. As the body gets older, recovery time after any exertion takes longer. The heart muscles and blood vessels don't bounce back as quickly as they once did. A sudden rush of physical effort without preparation can be more taxing than expected. While occasional activity isn't necessarily dangerous, frequent, or prolonged, intensity could be placing strain on an aging cardiovascular system without you even realizing it. If you've ever noticed a sudden sense of exhaustion, dizziness, or even mild discomfort in your chest after engaging in this habit, it might be worth paying attention to. Your body is speaking to you, and recognizing these signals can make all the difference in preventing unnecessary stress on your heart. Number 2, nervous system, fatigue, and energy depletion. Another surprising effect that few people talk about is how frequent masturbation can lead to nervous system fatigue, leaving you feeling drained, sluggish, and even mentally foggy. The human body relies on a delicate balance of energy, hormones and neurological signals to function optimally, and as we age, this balance becomes more fragile. While this activity might feel like a stress reliever in the moment, it can actually contribute to long-term exhaustion, making you feel more tired throughout the day without fully understanding why. Think of it this way: your nervous system is like a battery. Every action you take, whether it's physical activity, emotional processing, or even mental focus, draws energy from this battery. When you were younger, that battery recharged quickly, and your body could handle higher levels of stimulation without much consequence. But as you age, the ability to replenish that energy slows down. What used to be a simple act of relaxation in your younger years may now be taxing on your nervous system, leading to extended periods of fatigue, sluggishness, or even difficulty concentrating. Consider the experience of someone like Richard, a 69-year-old retired teacher. Richard started noticing that he felt unexplainably drained throughout the day, often struggling with low energy in the mornings and needing multiple naps to get through his routine. He had always assumed that fatigue was just part of aging, but when he cut back on certain habits for a few weeks, he was shocked to find that his energy levels improved. He felt more alert, more focused, and even noticed that his sleep quality got better. The connection became clear: overuse of certain bodily systems can lead to depletion, and recognizing this allowed him to make adjustments that benefited his overall well-being. The reason this happens is largely tied to neurotransmitters, those tiny chemical messengers in your brain, responsible for mood, motivation, and energy. Activities that stimulate the release of dopamine, the brain's pleasure and reward chemical, can feel good in the moment, but excessive stimulation can lead to a phenomenon called dopamine burnout. This is where your brain's sensitivity to pleasure decreases over time, leading to feelings of lethargy, low motivation, and even mild depressive symptoms. In younger years, the brain is resilient, enough to bounce back quickly from these fluctuations. But as we age, the nervous system takes longer to recover. This is why some older adults who engage in this habit frequently report feeling more sluggish than they used to. It's not about stopping entirely. It's about understanding your body's changing limits and making choices that help you maintain energy rather than deplete it. If you've ever felt an unusual sense of fatigue, lack of motivation, or difficulty concentrating without an obvious cause, consider whether this habit may be playing a role. Adjusting your frequency and paying attention to how your body responds could make a noticeable difference in your daily energy levels. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here with me. Your feedback helps me continue to bring you the information that matters most. Number 3, disrupted sleep patterns and increased restlessness. One of the most overlooked consequences of frequent masturbation in older adults is its impact on sleep quality. Many people assume that engaging in this habit before bed will help them relax and fall asleep faster. And while that might have been true in younger years, the reality changes as we age. Instead of leading to deep, restful sleep, it can actually contribute to nighttime restlessness, frequent awakenings, and an overall feeling of not being well rested the next morning. Sleep is a delicate process, controlled by a complex interaction between hormones, brain activity, and nervous system regulation. One of the key players in this process is melatonin, the hormone responsible for signaling to your body that it's time to wind down and rest. However, engaging in activities that trigger a surge of dopamine, the pleasure and reward neurotransmitter, can interfere with melatonin production, making it harder for your body to transition into a restful state. This is why some people find that, despite feeling relaxed immediately after, they end up tossing and turning later in the night. Consider someone like Gerald, a 74-year-old retiree who always prided himself on being an early riser. But over the past few years, he started noticing a frustrating pattern. He would fall asleep easily, only to wake up multiple times throughout the night. No matter how many adjustments he made to his bedtime routine, he couldn't shake the feeling of waking up groggy and unrested. It wasn't until he read about how dopamine and melatonin interact that he realized the connection. By making small adjustments to his habits before bed, Gerald was able to sleep more soundly and wake up feeling refreshed rather than fatigued. Another issue that often goes unnoticed is how this habit can contribute to an overactive nervous system right before sleep. Many seniors already struggle with conditions like restless leg syndrome, nighttime muscle cramps, or general sleep disturbances due to aging. When the nervous system is overstimulated, especially in the evening, it can make it harder to fully relax, leading to light, fragmented sleep rather than the deep, restorative sleep the body needs to function optimally. This is important because poor sleep doesn't just leave you feeling tired the next day, it has a cumulative effect on overall health. Studies have shown that chronic sleep disruption in older adults is linked to increased inflammation, higher risks of memory decline, and even a weakened immune system. When the body doesn't get enough deep sleep, it struggles to repair itself, making it harder to maintain mental sharpness, physical strength, and emotional well-being. So if you've been experiencing poor sleep, frequent nighttime awakenings, or a general sense of fatigue in the mornings, it may be worth considering whether this habit is playing a role. Small changes, such as adjusting the timing or frequency, can make a significant difference in improving sleep quality and helping your body recover properly. Number 4, increased risk of prostate irritation and urinary issues. One of the most unexpected consequences of frequent masturbation in older adults is its potential impact on prostate health. Many men assume that regular activity in this area keeps things functioning smoothly, but as we age, the body reacts differently. For some, overuse can lead to increased prostate sensitivity, mild inflammation, and even a heightened risk of urinary discomfort that wasn't an issue in younger years. The prostate naturally enlarges as men age, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. This enlargement can sometimes press against the bladder, making it harder to fully empty, leading to frequent urges to urinate, especially at night. When this area is overstimulated, the surrounding muscles and tissues can become irritated, increasing the sensation of needing to go to the bathroom more often. Some men find that after engaging in this habit frequently, they experience a temporary feeling of tightness, a weaker urine stream, or even mild burning. While this isn't always a cause for alarm, it's something worth paying attention to, especially if these symptoms start to interfere with daily comfort. Take someone like Leonard, a 71-year-old retired construction worker. Leonard had never had serious urinary issues before, but he noticed that he was waking up more often at night to use the bathroom. At first, he thought it was just part of aging, but after discussing it with his doctor, he learned that overstimulation of the prostate can sometimes make these symptoms worse, temporarily increasing inflammation and sensitivity. His doctor recommended taking a break from frequent activity to see if his symptoms improved, and sure enough, within a couple of weeks, his nighttime trips to the bathroom became less frequent, and he felt more comfortable overall. Another overlooked aspect is how frequent stimulation affects pelvic floor muscles. The pelvic floor is responsible for supporting bladder control, and as we age, these muscles naturally weaken. When overstimulated, they can become fatigued, leading to occasional leaking, sudden urges, or difficulty maintaining full control. While this might not be noticeable at first, over time, it can contribute to a gradual decline in urinary function. For men who already experience mild urinary issues, this is especially important. If you've noticed an increase in urgency, occasional dribbling, or difficulty fully emptying your bladder, consider whether frequent stimulation might be contributing to the problem. Making small adjustments, such as reducing frequency or incorporating pelvic floor exercises, can help maintain better urinary health, while reducing unnecessary strain on the prostate. If any of this sounds familiar to you, take a moment to listen to what your body's telling you. Your comfort and well-being are worth paying attention to, and small changes can make a big difference. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. Your feedback helps me continue providing information that supports your health and quality of life. Number 5, hormonal imbalance and mood swings. Another surprising effect of frequent masturbation after 65 is its potential impact on hormone balance and overall mood. Many people don't realize that this activity is tied to the release of key hormones that regulate energy, emotional stability, and even cognitive function. While it might feel like a temporary stress reliever, engaging in it too often can lead to subtle but significant hormonal fluctuations that leave you feeling emotionally unsteady, irritable, or even slightly down in the days that follow. Hormones like testosterone, dopamine, and oxytocin all play a role in how we feel on a daily basis. When you engage in this activity, there's a temporary rush of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and motivation. However, frequent overuse can lead to something called dopamine depletion, where your brain's sensitivity to this chemical is reduced. Over time, this can make everyday activities feel less enjoyable, leading to a cycle where it takes more and more stimulation to achieve the same level of satisfaction. Some men find themselves feeling unmotivated, easily frustrated, or even experiencing mild depressive symptoms without realizing why. Take someone like Edward, a 68-year-old former accountant who had always been a level-headed and positive person. But over the past year, he started noticing unexplained mood swings. One day, he felt energized and focused, and the next he felt sluggish and easily irritated. It wasn't until he took a step back and evaluated his daily habits that he realized the connection. After making a few changes and spacing out the frequency of this activity, he noticed that his mood stabilized, his energy felt more consistent, and he didn't experience the same emotional crashes that had started creeping into his daily life. Another critical factor is testosterone regulation. While younger men produce this hormone at high levels, production naturally declines with age. Frequent stimulation can sometimes lead to temporary dips in testosterone, which may contribute to increased fatigue, reduced motivation, and even subtle changes in muscle tone. Some studies suggest that excessive release of certain hormones, like prolactin, can further suppress testosterone, leaving men feeling less energized and more prone to emotional ups and downs. This isn't to say that all activity is bad, far from it, but moderation is key. If you've been feeling emotionally off balance, struggling with motivation, or noticing subtle changes in your overall mood, it might be worth considering whether hormonal fluctuations are playing a role. Giving your body more time to reset between instances of stimulation can help restore natural hormone balance, leading to more stable energy levels and a greater sense of well-being. If you've ever experienced this kind of emotional roller coaster without an obvious reason, you're not alone. Many seniors go through these changes without realizing the underlying cause. Small adjustments can make a significant difference in how you feel each day. Number 6, reduce sensitivity and diminish pleasure over time. One of the lesser-known effects of frequent masturbation after 65 is how it can lead to a gradual decline in sensitivity, making it harder to experience the same level of pleasure over time. Many people assume that this activity is purely beneficial, helping to maintain function and circulation. However, what often goes unnoticed is that overstimulation, especially when it becomes a habitual or frequent part of one's routine, can lead to desensitization, meaning that the body responds less intensely than it once did. The human nervous system is designed to adapt to repeated stimuli. When the same type of stimulation occurs too often, nerve receptors can become less responsive, requiring stronger or more prolonged stimulation to achieve the same effect. This is why some older adults notice that the sensations they once enjoyed don't feel as strong as they used to, or that it takes more effort and time to reach the same level of satisfaction. In some cases, it can even lead to frustration, as what once felt effortless now seems to require more focus and effort. Take the case of Robert, a 73-year-old former musician. Robert had always enjoyed an active lifestyle and saw no harm in keeping certain habits from his younger years. But over time, he noticed a subtle but undeniable shift. What once felt effortless now required more time, and the sensations weren't quite the same. At first, he chalked it up to aging, but after hearing from others with similar experiences, he realized that excessive stimulation had played a role. After adjusting his habits and allowing his body more time to reset between instances, he noticed an improvement in overall sensitivity, making the experience feel more natural and enjoyable again. Another factor at play here is nerve fatigue. Just like any other part of the body, the nerve endings responsible for sensation can become overstimulated when exposed to the same repetitive activity too frequently. This can result in a dulling effect, making responses feel weaker than they once were. Additionally, excessive dopamine release, especially in short bursts, can alter how the brain processes pleasure, sometimes leading to a reduced ability to feel excitement or anticipation in other areas of life. The good news is that this process is often reversible. By giving the body more time to recover between instances of stimulation, many people find that their natural sensitivity improves over time. This isn't about stopping altogether. It's about understanding how to maintain balance so that experiences remain enjoyable rather than becoming frustrating. If you've ever felt that things don't quite feel the same as they used to, or that it takes more effort than before, know that you're not alone. Many people experience this change without realizing the cause, but small adjustments can make a significant difference. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. Your engagement helps me continue providing content that supports your well-being. Number 7, increased feelings of loneliness and emotional detachment. One of the most overlooked consequences of frequent masturbation in older adults is its potential impact on emotional well-being and social connections. While this activity might seem like a harmless way to relieve stress or pass the time, excessive reliance on it can sometimes contribute to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and emotional detachment from meaningful relationships. Human beings are wired for connection. Emotional intimacy, physical touch, and deep personal interactions play a crucial role in overall happiness and mental health. When masturbation becomes a primary outlet for comfort or stress relief, it can subtly reduce the motivation to seek out real social engagement. Over time, this can lead to an increased sense of disconnection from others, making social interactions feel less fulfilling or even unnecessary. Consider someone like James, a 75-year-old widower. After losing his wife, James found himself spending more time alone, filling his days with routines that felt familiar and comforting. Over time, he noticed that he wasn't reaching out to friends as often, and even when he did, socializing felt more like an obligation than a genuine desire. He didn't immediately connect the dots, but eventually, he realized that his habit of relying on solitary activities for comfort was subtly reinforcing his isolation. Once he made a conscious effort to balance his personal time with more social engagement, whether through joining a local group, attending community events, or simply reconnecting with old friends, he found that his overall mood improved and the feelings of loneliness became much less overwhelming. This kind of emotional detachment isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual shift, one that often goes unnoticed until feelings of isolation become more pronounced. The brain forms habits based on reward cycles, and when a quick source of comfort is readily available, it can sometimes replace the motivation to seek deeper, more meaningful interactions with others. This is why some older adults find themselves spending more time alone without realizing that certain habits may be reinforcing that pattern. There's also a psychological aspect to consider. Engaging in meaningful interactions with others, whether it's a conversation, a shared experience, or even something as simple as a handshake or a hug, triggers the release of oxytocin, a hormone associated with bonding and emotional connection. When social interactions decrease, oxytocin levels can decline, contributing to feelings of loneliness and even mild depressive symptoms. If you've ever found yourself feeling more isolated than you'd like, or if socializing has started to feel less rewarding than it used to, it may be worth reflecting on the role that certain habits play in shaping those feelings. Making small adjustments, such as setting aside dedicated time for social activities, reaching out to old friends, or engaging in hobbies that encourage human connection, can help restore a sense of balance and fulfillment. If this insight resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Social connection is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining emotional health as we age, and even small changes can have a lasting impact. Number 8, increased risk of pelvic floor weakness and bladder control issues. One of the lesser-known consequences of frequent masturbation in older adults is its potential effect on pelvic floor strength and bladder control. While most people associate pelvic health with younger individuals or those recovering from medical conditions, the truth is that as we age, the muscles that support the bladder, prostate, and lower abdomen naturally weaken. Over time, excessive strain in this area, especially when done frequently or with too much intensity, can contribute to pelvic floor fatigue, leading to subtle but frustrating changes in bladder function. The pelvic floor is responsible for maintaining proper bladder control, supporting internal organs, and ensuring stability in the lower body. When these muscles weaken, it can result in increased urgency, occasional leakage, or difficulty fully emptying the bladder. Many seniors assume that these changes are just part of aging, but they may be unknowingly exacerbating the problem without realizing it. Consider someone like Harold, a 70-year-old retired mechanic. Harold had always been in good health, but he started noticing that he was making more frequent trips to the bathroom, especially at night. He also realized that he sometimes felt a slight loss of control when sneezing or laughing, something he had never experienced before. After researching the connection between pelvic floor health and frequent stimulation, he decided to reduce the frequency and incorporate simple pelvic exercises into his daily routine. Within a few weeks, he noticed a real difference. His urgency decreased, and he felt more in control throughout the day. This issue is more common than many people realize. Overuse of the pelvic muscles without proper recovery time can lead to muscle fatigue, much like any other part of the body. Just as overworking the arms or legs without rest can cause soreness and reduce strength, Excessive strain on the pelvic region can cause temporary tightness, discomfort, or a reduced ability to maintain full control. Another important factor is nerve sensitivity. The nerves in the pelvic region play a crucial role in regulating bladder function. When overstimulated, they can send mixed signals to the brain, creating a false sense of urgency or causing the bladder to react unpredictably. This is why some people notice an increase in nighttime awakenings to use the bathroom, even if their overall fluid intake hasn't changed. The good news is that these issues can often be managed with small lifestyle adjustments. Reducing frequency, incorporating simple pelvic floor exercises, and paying attention to how your body responds can help restore control and reduce unnecessary strain on these important muscles. If you've ever noticed unexpected changes in bladder function, increased urgency, or occasional leakage, it might be worth considering how certain habits impact your pelvic floor strength. Small changes can lead to noticeable improvements in comfort and confidence. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 8 below to let me know you're here. Your engagement helps me continue providing content that supports your well-being. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered. Many habits that seem harmless in our younger years can have unexpected effects as we age, and masturbation is no exception. From its impact on cardiovascular health and nervous system fatigue to its role in hormone balance, sleep quality, and pelvic floor strength, it's clear that moderation and awareness are key. The goal here isn't to create unnecessary worry, but to provide valuable insights that help you make informed decisions about your well-being. One of the biggest takeaways is that your body is always communicating with you. If you've noticed changes in energy, mood, bladder control, or even overall satisfaction, paying closer attention to your habits could reveal patterns you hadn't considered before. Small adjustments, whether it's reducing frequency, improving sleep, hygiene, or focusing on social engagement, can have a significant impact on how you feel each day. The good news is that many of these effects are reversible, and by being mindful of your body's needs, you can maintain a sense of vitality and confidence well into your later years. So now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these insights stood out to you the most? Have you noticed any of these changes in yourself, or do you have personal experiences to share? Your thoughts matter, and this is a space where we can learn from one another. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.